Okay, we are ready to put real timeline and costs to each development stage, because this is where the theory will meet reality. So the first stage is site identification. This takes about 2 to 6 months, and the risk level is pretty low. And the cost is also really small, around like 1–2% of the total project budget. At this stage, you are doing the initial screening, securing land options, and running preliminary economics. The money comes from the developer's own equity, so we don't have banks. The next is permitting, and it's usually like 6 to 12 months. Risk level is medium, and costs are about 2 to 3%. You're going through zoning, environmental reviews, fire safety reviews, and building permits. Again, this is funded by developers' equity. Then comes the interconnection process, and this is the big one. It takes 12 to 36 months. With the current reality, it can take even longer, because we have a lot of competing companies who wants to get this permitting, so it's very unpredictable. And the risk level is high, or very high, and the cost can be 10 to 12% of the total project budget. This is where you go through like feasibility studies, system impact studies, and facilitate studies with the grid operator. And here's the critical call out on this slide. The interconnection cost uncertainty is #1 project killer. If your grid update cost will be really high, and much higher than it was expected, project economics can fail apart. Next, we're looking for off-taker agreement, so it usually takes 6 to 12 months with medium risks and about 1 to 2% of the cost. This is often overlaps with the interconnection phase. You are negotiating PPAs and securing committed revenue stream. Finally, and again, everything could be overlapping. Financing takes 4 to 7 months with low risk and 1 to 2% cost, because at this point you are going through bank due diligence and everything checkouts. You are reaching like a big point like financial closure when we have formal commitment for the capital. This moment, financial closure, also called FC, triggers the notice to proceed, or NTP milestone. It's a very important milestone, since at NTP, to minimize the risks, we start procurement, especially large equipment like large transformers, and many OEMs, for them NTP is kind of stage when they start getting money for the first money for the equipment. And finally, we have construction. That can take 12 or more months. It's medium risks because we have companies who manage it, and it's majority of money, so roughly like 80%, even more of the total project cost gets spent over here. That's where we need to have like money from bank. And this is exactly the phase where debt, tax equity, sponsor equity all flows into to fund actual project build. The critical insight from this timeline is that all major risks must be mitigated, transferred, or insured before financial closure. And that's kind of a gate that allows you to start construction. If any significant risk remains unresolved, a bank just might not release money and you will never get to financial closure.